back with Steve Crosby. He's the chairman of the Mass Gaming Commission and the OTR Pub Quiz. Question 3. The likely new Massachusetts Senate president is Stanley Rosenberg of Amherst. What is the name of his partner who has caused some controversy in the Senate membership?
Byron, last name.
Hefner.
Hefner, yeah.
Brian, actually Brian.
Brian,
but he spells it with a Y.
Yeah, he spells it with a Y,
right.
Question 4. Although pay hikes for the Beacon Hill top tier appear to have lost steam, what is the amount of money proposed for a new housing allowance for future governors? Just the housing allowance I'm looking for.
$65,000.
$65,000. And the final question, using new authority, Boston Mayor Marty Walsh has just claimed what board once controlled by the governor? Boston Mayor Marty Walsh claiming a board once controlled by the governor. Using new authority.
Actually, he was given permission to do it. He was given permission
the alcoholic beverage, his alcoholic
That's
beverage
the coveted board grants and supervises liquor licenses.
I think you have a perfect record.
Right. Yeah, I would go for that. Wow. I mean, you don't have to ask us questions next time.
I must be in government and politics.
And we're going to learn from you.
So as you are, 3 years into your chairmanship, do you have any regrets about any decisions that you've made so far? And is there anything you would have done over again?
Probably, but I don't even want to go back and think about my mistakes, but I wouldn't have had a friend who was one of the owners of the property. I mean, who would ever have guessed that a business partner from 25 years ago.
Would you have gone to opening day at Suffolk Towns?
You know what? I'm sure Elaine Driscoll is watching right now and say, but I thought it was a totally innocent activity. We regulate the horse racing industry. We'd been at every opening day, but I clearly made the mistake, which is everything I do has to look okay when it's on your news show. That didn't, so I made a mistake.
We should probably explain Elaine Driscoll is the communications director for the Gaming Commission.
Who loves everything I say.
And there's a new governor who's going to take over on January 8th. Charlie Baker is going to take over the corner office, and he has made it known they would even prefer to have only one casino, but he's going to honor the will of the voters, the law of the Commonwealth. How is the relationship is going to change? How is it going to change as you look into the crystal ball?
Well, I don't really know yet. We are in the process of meeting with all of our appointing authorities. The Attorney General appoints one of us, the Treasurer appoints one of us, the Governor appoints me, and the three of them together appoint the other two. We're in the process of offering to meet with them, talk about transition. I don't know what the relationship will be. He did say out in Springfield that he was very respectful of the fact that the law makes the commissioners independent of the politicians and the politics. It was set up that way, and he seemed to appreciate that and be respectful of that. On the other hand, he's an extraordinarily capable, smart guy who knows a lot of stuff, and we will welcome his advice. But I imagine he will be like Governor Patrick, which has been, pretty much hands off, pretty much saying this is your guys' job. We'll talk to you if we feel we need to, but it's up to him.
Here we sit. We're heading toward Christmas. When do you think people are going to walk into the door of a casino in Massachusetts?
Well, I know to a near certainty that end of June, possibly early July of next year. So not more than 6 months from now, there will be a racetrack, a harness racing track, and a slots parlor called a casino in Plainville. 6 months, 6+ months from now. The big casinos, Everett and Springfield, will be, if all goes well, mid to late 2017.
Steve Crosby, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
Have a great holiday. We appreciate you on this morning. We thank Steve Crosby, the chairman of the Mass Gaming Commission, for joining us. As we continue this morning, Governor Patrick is in the final weeks as the Commonwealth's chief executive. So what's his legacy?
I've only been here 6, but it seems like it's been good to me.